It started with a scream in the school hallway. A boy stumbled against the locker, clutching his backpack like a shield. His left eye was swollen black and blue, the color of heartbreak. Teachers rushed in too late, just in time to see the bullies scatter, their laughter echoing down the hall. The boy, barely 12, didn't cry. He just stared at the floor, his voice trembling as he whispered, "I just wanted to go home." If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of good hearts hidden behind rough faces, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Journal. Stories like this remind us that real strength often wears leather, not gold. His name was Ethan Cole, a quiet kid from a small town on the edge of Nevada. Life hadn't been kind to him. His father had walked out when he was 6. His mother, Marissa, worked double shifts at a diner just to pay rent for their tiny trailer. Ethan had learned early that if you didn't fight back, the world would find a way to hit you anyway. Every day, he walked the same cracked sidewalk to school. Every day, the same group of boys waited by the bike racks, calling him trailer trash and no dad. He'd clench his fists but never fought back. His mother had taught him to stay kind, to stay out of trouble. But one Friday afternoon, the insults turned into fists. They threw his backpack into the mud, shoved him down, and when he got up, one of them punched him hard in the eye. Ethan didn't tell his mother. He told her he tripped at recess. That night, while Marissa slept after a long shift, Ethan sat outside their trailer steps, staring at the stars. A single tear slid down his cheek. Then, far off, he heard a deep rumble: motorcycles. The sound grew louder, rolling down the distant highway like thunder. He looked up and saw a line of bikers passing by, their jackets marked with the emblem of the Hells Angels. To most, it was a frightening sight: tattoos, leather, roaring engines. But to Ethan, it looked like strength, safety, and family. They rode together, side by side, like brothers who'd never leave one another behind. That night, an idea took root in his heart. The next day, bruised but determined, Ethan asked his mom if he could go to the diner with her. Marissa was hesitant, but she finally agreed. The diner was always full of truckers, travelers, and sometimes even bikers stopping for coffee. Ethan sat quietly at a corner table, sketching on a napkin, drawing motorcycles, men with long beards and kind eyes, smiling under their helmets, and then, they walked in 3 bikers, dusty from the road. One of them, a tall man with a gray beard and deep, calm eyes, noticed the boy's drawing. His name was Rex Dalton, known on the road as Grizzly. He had the kind of presence that filled a room, but when he looked at the boy, his expression softened. "What you got there, kid?" Rex asked, looking down at the sketch. Ethan hesitated, then turned the napkin toward him. "I drew your bikes," he said softly. "They look strong, like they don't let anyone mess with them." Rex smiled. "That's about right. You like bikes?" Ethan nodded. "I like people who ride them more. They stick together." Rex's smile faded just a bit, reading between the lines. He noticed the bruise under the boy's eye, faint but still there. "You okay, son?" he asked. Ethan nodded again, but his voice cracked when he whispered, "I just wish I had someone like you to talk to, someone who wouldn't leave." That line hit Rex harder than he expected. He crouched down beside Ethan and said, "Sometimes, the family you find on the road is better than the one you're born into." He handed the boy a small keychain with the Hells Angels logo on it. "Keep that. It means you've got friends who ride with you, even if you can't see us." Ethan held that keychain like a treasure. He didn't know that this one small act of kindness was about to change everything. The next Monday, the bullies saw the keychain dangling from his backpack and laughed. They called him a liar, said no biker would care about him. One of them snatched it and threw it into the mud. Ethan ran after it, but they pushed him down again. Something inside him finally broke. Through tears, he screamed, "I wish I had a dad. I wish I had someone to protect me." And fate was listening. After school, the principal called Marissa. The bullies' parents were there, pretending their kids were innocent. Ethan sat quietly in the corner, ashamed. That's when the sound hit, the unmistakable rumble of engines outside. Dozens of them. The ground vibrated. Everyone turned to the window. 32 motorcycles pulled into the school parking lot, one after another, chrome gleaming under the afternoon sun. Kids froze. Teachers whispered. The school resource officer reached for his radio, then the doors opened, and Rex Dalton walked in, followed by 31 other bikers in matching leather vests. Each of them removed their helmets, standing tall and silent. The principal stood speechless. "Can I help you?" she asked nervously. Rex nodded toward Ethan. "We're here for the boy." The room fell silent. One of the bullies muttered, "You're in trouble now." But Rex knelt in front of Ethan and said softly, "You asked for a dad, kid. You got 32. Ethan's eyes filled with tears. The other bikers smiled and nodded. One of them, a big man with tattoos of angel wings on his arms, said, "Anyone messes with you, they mess with all of us." Another handed him a small leather bracelet. "You're one of us now, little brother." The principal didn't know what to say. The parents of the bullies stammered excuses, promising their kids wouldn't touch Ethan again. And for once, they meant it. That afternoon, the entire school gathered at the windows, watching as Ethan walked out between rows of Harley-Davidsons. Rex lifted him up, placed a small helmet on his head, and let him sit on the front of his bike. The engines roared to life again, 32 machines rumbling like thunder. Ethan smiled wider than he ever had before. From that day on, everything changed. The bullies never touched him again. The Hells Angels became part of his life in ways no one expected. They would stop by the diner once a week, bringing Ethan small gifts: a glove, a helmet, a patch. They even helped his mother fix the roof of their trailer and got her a better job managing a biker-friendly cafe they opened nearby. Rex became a father figure not only to Ethan but to the entire community. He'd tell the boy stories about the road, about loyalty, about never judging people by what they look like. "Don't let the world turn you hard," he'd say. "Be tough, but stay kind. That's the real strength." Months passed. Ethan grew stronger, more confident. His grades improved. He even started a kindness club at school called Ride with Respect. It began with just a few students but soon spread across the district. Then one afternoon, Rex surprised him with a small black motorcycle, custom built, scaled perfectly for his age. Painted on the side was a silver angel wing with the words, "Never ride alone." Ethan hugged him tightly, unable to speak. For the first time in his life, he felt safe, seen, and loved. 1 year later, Rex passed away in a tragic accident on the road. The news broke Ethan's heart. The funeral was held under an open sky, hundreds of bikers from across the country attending. As the engines roared one last time in tribute, Ethan placed his small helmet on Rex's coffin and whispered, "You kept your promise. I was never alone." After that day, Ethan vowed to honor Rex's memory by helping others who felt abandoned or broken. He and his mother turned the cafe into a safe haven for kids from tough homes. The walls were filled with pictures of bikers, sunsets, and one framed napkin sketch, a memory of where it all began. Years later, Ethan, now grown, sat at the same diner counter, wearing Rex's old leather vest. A small boy sat next to him, holding a napkin and sketching motorcycles. The boy had a bruise under his eye. Ethan smiled softly, handed him a keychain with angel wings, and said, "Keep that. It means you've got family on the road." The engines outside thundered again, as if the angels themselves were still riding with him.